I feel very, very awkward explaining to a well-known chef how to cook pheasant normally.
With Caribbean background, you know, it's a lot of one-pot cooking, and I've taken what I know from that, plus the French training I've had through being a professional, together to create what I do.
So I have a repertoire which is based on things I've come across in life of being a poacher, a rabbit catcher, a gamekeeper, scrounging around on the margins of rural existence. This is my moment of glory when I burn the terrace restaurant down.
Yeah, it's not for everybody to eat it that way, is it?
Well, yeah, of course it is.
Hey!
There's absolutely,
See,
there's
not
right and wrong, isn't there?
Exactly.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
See, you've got it wrong already. I'm almost right,
Patrick's a chef and I'm only a cook. I'm going to cook pheasant Normandy. Basically, as you probably know, a cock pheasant especially is a dry bird, dry and tough. Traditional roasting methods just don't work. So the wily Norman peasant thought of cooking it in apple. So the idea is to put these things together and make this into a really, really nice dish.
Because my dish, basically I've got roast pheasant with a Brussels sprout and roasted potato cake. Normally cooked in clarified butter, I'm cooking mine in duck fat.
And may I say, as a cholesterol challenged person myself,
yeah,
what a rebellious joy springs up in my breast at the prospect of using, what, certainly half a pound of duck fat to cook a small bird in.
The duck fat, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's like a...
What a brilliant attitude in today's whinging health climate as it goes for it. That's brilliant. While the apples and butter are sautéing nicely, start browning my pheasant in a nice bit of olive oil. And it's quite an important part of it that it's going to be cooked in this dish. We don't actually have a traditional heavy cookot, so we're using this very fine heavy pan. And so that all the products of the browning of this bird are going to be incorporated in the apple sauce. I was brought up with very, very straightforward traditional 1950s type English cooking roast where you boil the cabbage for 2 hours, you know. Yeah. And all that sort of thing.
Now, confying is a very, very old way of French cooking. But again, you know, in the Caribbean, there's a, you know, Guadeloupe and islands that were colonised by the French that use old methods of cookery, but with a Caribbean twist on them. So I'm using old school methods with a modern twist on it.
What could I teach him? Well, there's a thing now. I mean, this man is a professional chef. He has his own restaurant. Putting just a squirt of olive oil.
Yeah, just a squirt of olive oil into there, just to help it cook a bit.
That looks lovely, actually.
You know, and this would work absolutely perfectly with your dish.
Out of town, yeah, maybe I'd be the chef out of town. I could teach you to shoot. I could teach you to set a snare, catch a rabbit. What about rabbits? We haven't talked about rabbits.
We've got squirrels outside.
I like talking about rabbits. Yeah, they certainly deserve to be eaten. They're an appalling nuisance.
You know, I'm a city boy and I do love the city and stuff, but the country's nice if you want to relax for a day or two. But
yeah, what better way to relax than killing some small animals, you know, bringing them back to the restaurant and eating them.
Yeah, great.
Perfect.
There's a lot to learn, you know, the shooting aspect, living off the land, not going to the local supermarket or getting my meat delivered to the door and just prepping it up or hanging my own meat myself and stuff. So I'd be really interested. So it'd be an absolute load. I've got a nice bit of pheasant jus just cooking away over there, and this is like I'm going to make like a cream sauce, which I'm going to froth, which is where the poncy bit comes into it.
This is my moment of glory when I burn the terrace restaurant down.
Yeah,
what we're going to do is, while these apples carry on soaking in butter, which I'm sure is very bad health practice, I'm going to pour brandy over this pheasant and set fire to it. Yes, sir.
The reason why he's doing that is he's burning off the excess alcohol in the dish, and you also get that sort of really strong, burny sort of crunchy flavour to it itself.
It does more to the flavour than you would actually believe, doesn't it?
It's more than just a poncy little thing, flambe.
Yeah, I think that'll probably do it.
I'm really impressed so far with Pigeon's culinary skills.
Oh, you say the sweetest thing.
I know.
Right.
They're paying me to say this.
My interest is really meat and game, and ordinary basic English vegetables. I mean, I'm deeply suspicious of lemongrass. I've heard of lemongrass. It doesn't sound like an edible material to me at all. You know, it's not a way I really want to go. There's plenty of lemongrass people around. They don't need another one. I never measure anything. That looks probably right. And if it's not, I shall say how good it was anyway.
The apples are going to be a soft mush as well.
They
and
are.
if they wanted baby food, to go and buy some.
Ah.
So in my restaurant, it just wouldn't happen that way.
Now we're getting down to it, aren't we? Eh? I see. If they wanted baby food, they'd go and buy. That's a nice thing to say, isn't it? That's very pretty. It's much prettier than mine.
The dish itself is cooked really nicely. Personally, it's too much alcohol in it for me. But apart from that, it's very, very nice. The presentation of it is what it is.
There's nothing wrong with any of it. It's all really good and it's lovely materials. One of the things that which is where the sort of chefing comes in, the formal restaurant comes in, is actually making it up into a little hamburger. Is not necessarily doing them full justice. Whereas I would find it more satisfying to go for a more traditional English Sunday lunch type of format.
It's just a classic.
But if you've got roast potatoes,
yeah,
you wouldn't pour gravy all over your roast potatoes.
Oh, yes, I would.
You would?
Yes, I would.
No, you're mine, mate.
You know, what I do
it's
is...
absolutely appalling thing to do.
What I do is I pour
the whole
gravy...
point of them is that they aren't all soggy and soaked. They're golden and crunchy.
It depends on how crispy the potatoes are, for how soggy they would get.
Yes, so you'd have a bit, but you wouldn't actually serve them in a sauce. Well, okay,
no, I wouldn't serve them in a sauce. I'd pour sauce all over the turkey,
the same with chips.
and it would then spread all over the dish, wouldn't it?
We've all had the ultimate turn-off experience being in an Indian restaurant, seeing a bunch of drunken squaddies come in and pouring curry sauce all over their chips. You know,
but it depends on how you like to eat your chips,
it's well, yes, but it's barbaric.
Yeah, but that's for you.
But once you wet them,
it's not
you're losing that.
Pigeon? It's not for everybody to eat it that way, is it?
Well, yeah, of course it is.
Hey,
there's absolutely
see,
there's right and wrong, isn't there? I mean, it's pretty obvious.
See, you've got it wrong already. I'm always right, Pigeon.
I've got it wrong already.
You see, you've got it wrong already. I'm always right. I told you that earlier.
I remember hearing a rumour about it, but it was still out. Jury's still out on that one.
Yeah.